Uh, Probably wait for a few people to come in. Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here. Uh, just been on my mind. This conversation been on my mind today, but I'll wait for a few people to come in on this live. Again, appreciate y'all being in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day. Hope y'all enjoying uh today. Hope you're having a productive week. Hope y'all working on music. Hope y'all working on music and so forth like that. Let me straighten up my shirt. Let me look a little bit presentable. This is like one of my house shirts I wear around the house. So excuse me if it's a little lazy, this shirt. But thought I'd talk to you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Uh just a lot of things going on. I know y'all heard about the Beyonce situation. Uh, I feel like somebody is going to get fired. I feel like somebody going to get fired. Uh, One of them choreographers, they you know, somebody stole out the car. One of Beyonce's, the choreographers. I guess they went to some restaurant or something, and they came out, and a lot of stuff was stolen out the car. Uh, some unreleased music, some things, top secret, I guess, that had to do with Beyonce's show, was stolen. And so we'll see what happened with that. We'll see what happened with that. They said they got one suspect the last time I heard. So, we'll see what happened. We'll see what happened. But again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here. Hope you're having a great day. Hi, bro, remembering me. I don't remember you, Two Fix. How you doing, Cobra K? How you doing, Brian? How you doing, McGreedy Gaming? How you doing, Aponte Kids? Appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all. How you doing, Stanislav? How you doing? How you doing, Marie? Appreciate y'all for being in here. First time here? Okay. But I want to talk about artists these days, even A-list artists. How you doing, Johnson? With Winchester? Appreciate y'all for coming in here. I want to talk about the artists these days, A-list artists. Appreciate your Ponte Kid said everybody sub. These A-list artists. Because I was watching a post, Chris Brown put a post. He was saying, should he release this song? The song is dope. Song is dope. It ain't bad, but I feel like the music scene is oversaturated with songs. I feel like, every artist has their own style. They have their own style, but I think you can get to the point where you get tired of tired of a certain sound, uh, especially on the radio, especially just in media. Period, where you can get tired of a certain sound that you hear all the time. You know, and I feel like uh, like Chris Brown. Chris Brown is a great artist. I love this. I love his artistry, but I feel like sometimes he push out too much music at one time, where people can't really digest the song that's out. So no shade to Chris Brown. I love. I'm a huge Chris Brown fan, but I feel sometimes a lot of artists, I guess, because of the streaming, a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, a lot of producers, songwriters, they don't really get paid like they should on these streaming services. So I feel a lot of people feel like they have to push out so much music uh, all in one quarter or in a year. You know, I feel like still we should go back to trying to uh, you know have fans miss us for a little while and then come back. You know, I think that's how a lot of huge artists, made it in their career. They kind of took a hiatus and come back with something real fresh and new. And I feel like sometimes, even it's kind of like a relationship. Sometimes you need that distance to make it fonder. Make things fonder. How you doing, Henry Bob? How you doing, Fo VIP? How you doing, Kevo on the beat? But I feel like sometimes we should take a break uh, as artists to really create quality music or create something no one has ever heard before. I feel like uh, music can be highly saturated from one artist. uh, you know, we technology has made things so much faster. People can create. Uh, People can create from their house. People can create from their car. People can create anywhere because of technology, but I feel like the quality is diminishing because of that, or the authenticity. Uh, the authenticity I feel like has diminished because we feel like we can just create microwavable music, and so I feel like I just feel like artists are just pushing out too much music these days. Uh, I like albums that's not more than 16 songs on an album. I feel like if it's more than 16 songs, I think it's too much. I think it's too much for an album. You know, how you doing, girls, Kerwick? How you doing? How you doing, Gabrielle? Again, how you doing, Henry Bob? Appreciate you being in here. But yeah, I think it's a lot of times oversaturated with music, and people don't get to. If I feel like artists feel like they have to release something every year, you know, instead of just waiting, waiting for a little while, let the music marinate. I feel like we gotta let the music marinate. I think a lot of artists in the early 2000s they let music marinate, and then after a few weeks, that or a certain performance, that song kind of go through the roof. But if you like release a song and it's a smash, and then you release so many other songs after that, you don't let the song breathe. How you doing, non-Curzon Eva? Are you Tyler the Creator? No, no, I'm not Tyler the Creator. I wish I was. He probably got some money, but yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Do you feel like artists is pushing out too much music at one time? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. But that's just my feeling about it. That's just my feeling about it. I feel like uh, music is overly saturated. Music is overly saturated with average songs to me. You know, very overly saturated with songs. Uh, but y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about this conversation. Uh, Feel free if you want to send a super chat. Feel free to send a super chat. Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Even if you watching this video recorded, leave in the comment section. Do you feel like artists is pushing out too many songs? I feel they are, and I feel like songs don't get to really marinate in the algorithm, uh, and kind of soak into people. Sometimes when you listen to certain albums, after a while you start to like it more and more because you get the cohesiveness of the album. And so yeah, how you doing, Laura Rustum? How you doing, Laura Rustum? Appreciate you for being in here. But yeah, y'all let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat how you feel about music these days. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. But yeah, that's my yeah, I remember you, Laura. I think I remember you. But y'all let me know in the let me know in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about music these days. Is it too much music from artists? You know, should artists take more of their time to push out music so you know the rollout can be good? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. But again, thank y'all for listening to this conversation. I ain't gonna be up here long because it seems like people in the chat is not really responding to what I'm talking about. How you doing, Noble John? I'm not nervous. I'm just waiting for people to chat back on this conversation. But I'm not nervous. Not nervous. We need the next mobile bring back classical music. Shout out to Michael Mora. Yeah. Yeah, we can bring back classical music. People say I'm nervous. I'm not nervous. I'll just wait for people to conversate back. I'm not nervous at all. Do 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 do. But again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all. Hope you're having a great week. Mix classical music with drill, and it will be pop. Wow. Never thought of that. Because a lot of classical music is like major chords. So I can see that. Also, you want to send a super chat with a comment about this, feel free to support this channel. You want to send a super chat, again, appreciate y'all. But I just thought about that because I was watching Chris Brown. He had a new song he was working on. And I feel like sometimes these artists, I think they push out too many songs at one time to me. So, you know, it just was on my mind today. How you doing, Gregory Masters? Super duper. Says super duper. But if you want to send a super chat, feel free to with a comment about this subject. You know, I'll respond to it. But again, yeah, you know, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue with I don't know what he talking about. How you doing, Zen Brick? Oh, you new here? Yeah, and let me know your thoughts about how you feel about artists pushing out too much music at one time. I feel like a lot of artists, Zembrich is pushing out a lot of music at one time. You know, people don't get to sit with songs. You know, I feel like it's too much music. I feel like the quality is not there like it used to be. You know, rollouts. You know, shout out to the Clips. I love the rollout they have. You know, they got a great album as well. The Clips. It's the lyrics to the song. Oh, I don't know that song, Gregory. Yeah, me. He said, yeah, me with rapping. It's not really too much for me. I'm used to it. Okay. I feel like artists are flooding the gates to see what sticks. Yeah, I feel that's the bad way, a bad way to go. Because some people, fans may feel like they favorite artist is falling off if they do that. Just trying to put out music that see what's music sticks. Sometimes I do admit the artists might put out too much and oversaturate the market with their product. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Uh, like I said, I'm a huge Chris Brown fan, but I feel like sometimes he put out too much music to me. I feel like it, but that's the way he want to do it. But I feel like it's just way too much music. I feel like people should take their time. Like Usher, he still he put out an album probably every 4 years. You may take a break and work on some music. How you doing, Amalia? Loves Abane. How you doing? But yeah, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here. But yeah, I feel like artists is so I'm like a famous rapper, but not really showing it. You feel me? Okay. Sometimes you gotta let the music marinate. Yeah, you gotta let the music marinate. You can't just keep pushing out music just because one song don't hit. You know, you gotta take your time with music. How you doing, JDL Fornes? But yeah, cause it's good. Like the artist. You say I'm a sub and like appreciate you. Also, if y'all want to send a super chat, feel free to. How you doing, Aaron Loomis? Pushing out music, Zembrich. Pushing out music can be hard if you don't know what to say and do with the words you have. Yeah, you know, and I think Chris Brown is good at melodies and delivery. I love Chris Brown, but sometimes you know, even a lot of rappers, I feel like they push out too much music. I like Glorilla, you know, but sometimes you got to hold back on features and all that to really work on your own project. But a lot of times it don't have to do with the artist; it got to do with the label wanting you to push out music. You know, a lot of times it got to do with the label. The label might want them to push out a lot of music too. And so those types of things happen as well. You know, appreciate you, Aaron, for appreciate you. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you like this conversation. Give me a thumbs up if you like this conversation. But yeah, I feel like music is oversaturated. Music is oversaturated. Appreciate y'all joining the conversation. How you doing, Matt? Appreciate you for being in here. Cameron K says, "Yo, Tupac or Biggie?" That's tough now, cause I've been kind of digging into Tupac catalog. I used to be a big Biggie fan, but I've been digging into Tupac stuff, and so it's kind of hard. I can't say they both had their own contribution to rap, to hip hop. Uh, I think Tupac was more poetic. He was more of a what's the word? humanitarian as far as the music. Biggie was more of a flashy rapper. You know, it's more about wordplay and lyricism. So it's kind of tough to say Tupac or Biggie. I used to be Biggie. I used to say Biggie, but you know, like I said, listening to more Tupac these days, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. They both were great. You know what they do. You know, life cut short. But yeah, that's all I say about that. Tupac versus Biggie. The Flame God, how you doing? Yeah, I remember you. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support as well in the past, Flame Gods. I remember you. They're the real ones now. It's Rap Cap. I call Biggie, Eminem, and Tupac are my favorite rappers. Okay. All right, great explanation. I'm a sub and like. Appreciate you. Yeah, I used to say Biggie, but it's hard now. I can't say Biggie is better than Tupac. Again, appreciate you, Flame God, for the super chat. Appreciate you for always supporting. Appreciate you for the super chat. But it's difficult to say. It's difficult to say uh, Tupac or Biggie. But yeah, appreciate you, Flame God, for the super chat. Thanks for always supporting. I remember you from the other videos as well. Appreciate you. Flame God said Biggie. But yeah. I think I'm gonna put up a poll too. I'm gonna start a poll. All right, so I got a poll. Are artists pushing out too much music these days? Easy E, Dr. Dre, how you doing, Stoic Man? Easy E, Dr. Dre, Snoop, 50, Tupac, Biggie, Eminem, and more. Real ones are these rappers now trying to copy the rap. So 50% say yes and 50% say no. Or now 67%. Yeah, you know, join the poll. Join the poll. I'm saying this for the chat. If you are a rapper, are getting there, make sure to not push yourself over the limit. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people is rushing, a lot of artists feel like they have a time limit, as far as music is concerned. I think a lot of people feel like they gotta rush to push out songs because, a lot of artists, a lot of producers, a lot of uh labels are losing money because of the streaming services. You know, it's not really physical copies. Vinyl is coming back. Appreciate you, Aaron Loomis. Got to go. I'll be back. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people is rushing. They feel like they got a time limit, especially independent artists. Please take your time pushing out music because you don't want a bad impression on you or your group or your team. The Flame Guard said Eminem is the best rapper though. I like Eminem. I like Eminem. I think my top five rappers. My top five is I like Jadakiss. I like Jay Z. I like Kendrick. Uh, I like Busta Rhymes and I like Ludacris. They my top five. It might change some other day, but they my top five for right now. I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people sleep on Ludacris too. Jay Z sucks. Who said Jay Z? 21 Savage is better than who? But I love Kendrick. Yeah. Yeah, I say Jay Z, Kendrick, Jadakiss, Busta Rhymes, and Ludacris are my favorite rappers. 75% say yes, and 25% say no. Kendrick Lamar is trash. Zambridge must be a Drake fan. He must be a Drake fan. But again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all. Lil Baby is. I don't know. I'm not a big Lil Baby fan. I think he's kind of annoying sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, Lil Baby. I think without the auto tune, he wouldn't be. You know. How you doing, Eber now? K Nav K Aber Nav K. Yeah, I'm not a Lil Baby fan. I'm sorry. I think he's okay. He's good, but he's I like 21 Savage better than Lil Baby. Honestly, I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with that, but I like 21 better than Lil Baby. Do 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 do. Also, if you want to send a super chat, feel free to. You want to send a super chat? Let me know your favorite rapper in the super chat. Let me know your favorite rapper. Again, appreciate y'all for being here. Yeah, I'm a musician. I'm a producer and songwriter. How you doing, Soul Snapper? And I don't know what Soul Sniper saying. I don't know who he's talking about. So got his comment because I don't know what he's talking about. Some troll. Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Danny Dan says, hello, my friend. It took me some time to see the light. Amen. Jesus is the way, my Lord and Savior.